Thus Solomon finished the house of the Lord and the king's house, and all that came into Solomon's heart to make in the house of the Lord.
Trump's choice of reading this passage was no coincidence. He knows he is supposed to help build the third temple.
We will all see the building of the third temple in Jerusalem very soon. We all have great gratitude to this person. This is a person that doesn't care only for himself, but cares for the entire world, and especially for the people in Israel and for the Jews in America.
As President of the United States, I will always support Jewish Americans, and I will always be a friend and a champion to the Jewish people. I have been.
What if I told you that Donald Trump, the current US president, has been linked by Jewish rabbis and pastors to one of the most important prophecies in history, the rebuilding of the third Jewish temple in Jerusalem? Some religious leaders openly claim Trump's action in Israel, like moving the US embassy to Jerusalem, are not just politics, they are steps toward rebuilding the third Jewish temples in Jerusalem.
Yes. He, I believe, is the Mashiach of Edom.
Esau from persecuting the Jews to Esau who is serving the Jews is Donald Trump.
Yes, that's right. In 2016, Donald Trump campaigns on America First, following the call for an aid and questioning long-standing alliances. He even criticized AIPAC, the most powerful pro-Israel lobby, leaving many convinced he would not be a friend of Israel. But then came Sheldon's and Miriam Sadelson's. Their nearly $90 million in donation during the 2016 cycle gave Trump not just financial backing, but a direct line into the pro-Israel world. Miriam, deeply committed to Israel's cause, became a key voice urging Trump toward bold move. With their support, his posture shifted dramatically. Beyond campaign politics, the Adelson also became major donors to the City of David project in Jerusalem, funding excavation and tunnels believed to trace the ancient pathway to the second Jewish temple. For many, this effort is seen as the groundwork for a future third temple. That is why when Trump became the US president, the very first demand from his strongest supporter was clear: move the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
Thank you, President Trump, for having the courage to keep your promises.
For decades, past president had promised but never acted. Trump broke that pattern. In May 2018, he officially recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital.
Today we officially opened the United States Embassy in Jerusalem. Congratulations.
And made America the first nation to relocate its embassy there, a move celebrated by many as historic and prophetic. For many evangelical Christians and even some Orthodox Jews, Trump's 2018 decision to move the US embassy to Jerusalem wasn't just politics. They saw it as prophecy fulfilled, a step straight out of scripture pointing to Jerusalem restoration and the coming of the Messiah. But have you ever wondered why Israel chose Jerusalem as its capital? Search online, you will find countless explanations. Yet, simple truth is this: Jerusalem holds the Temple Mount, the very heart of Jewish faith and identity. For Jews, it is the holiest place, bound to their history, their prayers, and their hope for a future third temple. That's why when Trump opened the US Embassy in Jerusalem, he shook the world. He made a bold move no president before him dared to take. America became the first nation to place its embassy there. No wonder religious groups in Jerusalem minted coins showing Trump alongside King Cyrus, a symbol of prophecy fulfilled. To some rabbis, he was even seen as the Messiah of Edom, the outsider chosen to serve Israel, carrying out what past leaders never dared to do. In December 2025, at the White House Hanukkah celebrations, Miriam Adelson pledged $250 million for Trump's possible third term. Her word ignited the room's sparking chants of 4 more years.
Think about it.
Thank you.
Maybe I will be the first one who told you, or second. Yeah.
She said, think about it. I'll give you another 250.
I will give.
But her husband, Sheldon, was an amazing guy, and he'd come up to the office.
Many believe Trump was used by Zionist Jews to advance their mission, the rebuilding of the Third Temple in Jerusalem. They saw him as a builder.
I'm the builder president, remember that, so I understand this.
You're made for this.
A man who gets things done, and at that moment, the most powerful leaders in the world. Trump was not alone in the push toward the Third Temple. Beside him stood Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, and J.D. Vance, each reinforcing his pro-Israel stand in their own way. Their actions signal support for the vision.
And there's no reason why the miracle of the reestablishment of the temple on the Temple Mount is not possible. You have Donald Trump in the White House. You have true believers in Israel and America that have your back.
Hegseth openly declared the temple could be rebuilt, calling it a miracle waiting to happen. Rubio attended the opening of the City of David and prayed at the Western Wall. Together they elevated Trump's role, casting him as a figure some religious groups believe was chosen to do what past presidents never dared. Trump's craved fame and legacy for many Jews hoping for the Third Temple. That ambition was a tool. They saw his power and personality as a perfect engine, a man driven by glory who could be persuaded to help build something historic and monumental, the Third Temple in Jerusalem. The construction of a Third Temple in Jerusalem is never openly discussed in the US government policy. Yet while Washington stays silent, its decisions have consistently empowered Jewish community and strengthened Israel's position in ways that some see as indirectly paving the grounds. In recent years, thousands of Jews have ascended the Temple Mount, with police now allowing quiet prayers and organized groups to visit regularly. This subtle shift carries huge symbolic weight, signaling that reality is moving closer to what Third Temple advocates have long envisioned. The rebuilding of the Third Temple is not a dream anymore. It is a real plan being carried out, and the US government is part of the plans now. What do you think? Leave in the comment.